Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? I hope you all are having a good Sunday morning. It's time for another wonderful podcast as we discuss another psychology topic. We've got ourselves the psychology of colors. It's a nice and interesting little topic because it's prevalent in your everyday life, more so than you think. Every little thing that you see, the way things are marketed, branded, presented to you, it's all based upon this color psychology. And it's everywhere. So, that's what we're going to be discussing today. So, I got a nice little thing written out here that I will be reading from, and then when we have more time, I have several articles to talk about. So, let's get started, shall we? So, color psychology is the study of hues as a determinant of human behavior. Color influences perceptions that are not obvious, such as the taste of food. Colors have qualities that can cause certain emotions in people. Colors can also enhance the effectiveness of placebos. For example, red or orange pills are generally used as a stimulant. How color influences individuals may differ depending on their age, their gender, and their culture. For instance, heterosexual men tend to report that red outfits enhance female attractiveness, while heterosexual females deny any outfit color impacting that of men. Although color associations can vary contextually between cultures, color preference is to be relatively uniform across gender and race. Color psychology is also widely used in marketing and branding. Marketers see color as important, as color can influence a consumer's emotions and perceptions about goods and services. Logos for companies are important since the logos can attract more customers. This happens when customers believe the company logo matches the personality of the goods and services, such as the color pink, heavily used in Victoria's Secret's branding. Colors are also important for window displays in stores. Research shows that colors such as red tended to attract spontaneous purchasers, despite cool colors such as blue being more favorable. Isn't it just amazing how, just through sheer research, they found, if you put some red in a display window, you're more likely to get that random buyer to come in and purchase something. It's just wild to me that the fact that just a different color is enough to make people decide to be like, yeah, I'll buy. It's weird. All right, so influence of color on perception. Color has a large impact on food. Color affects how people perceive the edibility and flavor of foods and drinks. Not only the color of the food itself, but also that of everything in the eater's field of vision can affect this. For example, in food stores, bread is normally sold in packaging decorated or tinted with golden or brown tones to promote the idea of home-baked and oven freshness. People can mistake a cherry-flavored drink for being lime or lemon-flavored if the drink was a green color. Additionally, a flavor can be intensified by a color. People can rate a brown M&M as more chocolate-flavored than a green M&M based on color. Have you ever had those extra chocolatey M&Ms? Just gotta get that extra chocolate because it's brown. I can't say I have done that before. I know it's not, but it just feels like it. The placebo effect. The color of placebo pills is reported to be a factor in their effectiveness, with hot-colored pills working better as stimulants, while cool-color pills work better as depressants. This relationship is believed to be a consequence of the patient's expectations and not a direct effect of the color itself. Consequently, these effects appear to be culture dependent. Blue public lighting. Blue light causes people to feel relaxed, which has led countries to add blue streetlights in order to decrease suicide rates. In 2000, the city of Glasgow installed blue streetlight blue street lighting in certain neighborhoods and subsequently reported the anecdotal finding of reduced crime in these areas. A railroad company in Japan installed blue lighting on its stations in October of 2009 in an effort to reduce the number of suicide attempts, although the effect of this technique has been questioned. Let's see. Color preference and associations between color and emotion. So, how people are affected by different color stimuli varies from person to person. Blue is the top choice for 35% of Americans, followed by green at 16%, purple at 10%, and red at 9%. A preference for blue and green may be due to a preference for certain habitats that were beneficial in the ancestral environment as explained in evolutionary aesthetics. The colors orange, yellow, and brown are the three least popular colors, respectively. Oh my god, my favorite colors in the bottom three. Color preferences may also depend on ambient temperature. People who are cold prefer warm colors such as red or yellow, while people who are hot prefer cool colors like blue and green. Introverted individuals are also found to be more attracted to cool colors, while extroverts prefer warmer colors. So does that mean if you want to feel warm, you should wear red or yellow? And since I'm constantly running hot, I'm constantly wearing blues. Is that what color psychology is telling me? I'm subconsciously trying to tell myself that I'm freezing, so I need to wear my red shirt, or I'm super overheated, so I need to wear my blue shirts. Gender has also shown to influence how colors are received. While some research has suggested that women and men respectively prefer warm and cool colors, black, white, and gray are also shown to be received more positively by males than females. So we get the cool colors, the black, the white, the gray. Well, you guys just get the warm colors, which I'm okay with. I mean, granted, orange is a warm color, but, only so much you can do with purple and orange, Well, so would purple be a cool color and orange be a warm color? It's just sometimes I don't know. It's just one of those things where I'm just like, oh, I don't know what's going on. I just, purple's in the middle. Really? Interesting. Okay. I did not know purple was in the middle. Psychologist Andrew J. Elliott tested to see if the color of a person's clothing could make them appear more sexually appealing. He found that, to heterosexual men, women dressed in the color red were significantly more likely to attract romantic attention than women dressed in any other color. The color did not affect heterosexual women's assessment of other women's attractiveness. Other studies have shown a preference for men dressed in red among heterosexual women. That is interesting, though, that purple is traditionally considered cool. However, it is a split of the cool and warm. How do you make purple? Again, I'm not very good with my color wheels. Is it green and red? Red and blue. Well, so it is literally the cross section of of a big warm color and a big cool color. So that makes sense that it's considered right there a split. So, contrary to the unanimous adult preference for blue, in children, the color yellow is the most favored color, perhaps owing to its association with happiness. However, children's preferences for colors they find to be pleasant and comforting are mutable and can vary, while adult color preference is usually non-malleable. Cultural background has been Cultural background has been shown to have a strong influence on color associations and preferences. Studies have shown that while people from the same region, regardless of race, will have the same color preferences, Common associations connecting a color to a particular emotion may differ cross-culturally. For instance, one study that examined color associations with emotion, where participants from Germany, Mexico, Poland, Russia, and the United States found that in all nations, the color red was associated with anger and was perceived as strong and active. Meanwhile, only Poles associated purple with both anger and jealousy, while Germans associated jealousy with yellow, highlighting how the influence of different cultures can potentially change perceptions of color and its relation to emotion. That's weird, though. Like, the fact that, how for, Americans, like, red is anger. For Poles, purple is anger. And, for America, green is jealousy. Purple is jealousy for Poles, and yellow for Germans. It feels weird, right? I mean, so it's not. My question would be is, where in our culture do these color associations happen? I mean, it feels weird to me because it doesn't feel like I'm influenced by colors to buy something. The only reason I buy something is because I want it. And I don't want it because of how it looks. I want it because I want the item. So it's like different colors don't change things to me. I mean, there's a better preference towards certain colors because I think it looks better in certain instances, or the color comes out better. Which, yeah, that could be because of colors clashing or whatnot, or the situation, but I don't think it's based upon emotion or feelings that rise out of me. It's not like I try to put orange in everything. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, So I'm curious where the culture creates these color associations. Why is jealousy yellow for Germans, but why are you green with envy in the United States? And why are you purple with flurple to be jealous in Poland? It's weird. Light, color, and surroundings. Light and color can influence how people perceive the area around them. Different light sources affect how the color of walls and other objects are seen. Specific hues of colors seen under natural sunlight may vary when seen under the light of an incandescent tungsten light bulb. Lighter colors may appear to be more orange or brownish, and darker colors may appear even darker. Light and the color of an object can affect how one perceives its positioning. If light or shadow, or the color of the object, masks an object's true contour or the outline of the figure, it can appear to be shaped differently from reality. Objects under a uniform light source will promote better impression of 3D shapes. The color of an object may affect whether or not it seems to be in motion. In particular, the trajectories of objects under a light source whose intensity varies with space are more difficult to determine than identical objects under a uniform light source. This could possibly be interpreted as interference between motion and color perception, both of which are more difficult under variable lighting. Interesting. So you're saying if I had a hue changing light bulb right now, if I just changed the thing, I could affect how my wall looks, other than the fact that it's a wall. And, nothing's happening to the wall. Meh. Carl Jung is the most prominently associated with the pioneering stages of color psychology. Jung was most interested in color's properties and meanings, as well as in art's potential as a tool for psychotherapy. His studies in and writings on color symbolism cover a broad range of topics, from mandalas to the works of Picasso to the near universal sovereignty of the color gold, the lattermost of which, according to a Charles A. Riley II, expresses the apex of spirituality and intuition. And pursuing his studies of color usage and effects across cultures and time periods, as well as in examining his patients' self created mandalas, Jung attempted to unlock and develop a language or code, the ciphers of which would be colors. He looked to alchemy to further his understanding of the secret language of color, finding the key to his research in alchemical transmutation. His work has historically informed the modern field of color psychology. So really, if you're really interested in the idea of color psychology or art in psychotherapy, look at Carl Jung, or Jung, but the J is pronounced with a Y, so Carl Jung. Also, has anybody ever actually seen a mandala? Like, they're really cool. Mandala. They're absolutely cool. And if you've not seen one, you should look it up, yo. Type of deal. Okay. So the general model of color psychology relies on 6 basic principles. Color can carry a specific meaning. Color meaning is either based in learned meaning, or biologically innate meaning. The perception of a color causes evaluation automatically by the person perceiving. 4. The evaluation process forces color-motivated behavior. 5. Color usually exerts its influence automatically. And 6. Color meaning and effect has to do with context as well. So, uses in marketing. Since color is an important factor in the visual appearance of products as well as in brand recognition, color psychology has become important to marketing. Recent work in marketing has shown that color can be used to communicate brand personality. So, marketers must be aware of the application of color in different media, i.e., print versus web. Oh no, it should be e.g. So, did you side note, did you know there's actually a reason to say IE and actually a reason to say EG? They mean 2 completely different things. I learned that the other day. Continuing on, as well as the varying meanings and emotions that a particular audience can assign to color. Even though there are attempts to classify consumer response to different colors, everyone perceives color differently. The physiological and emotional effect of color in each person is influenced by several factors, such as past experiences, cultures, religion, natural environment, gender, race, and nationality. When making color decisions, it's important to determine the target audience in order to convey the right message. Color decisions can influence both direct messages and secondary brand values and attributes in any communication. Color should be carefully selected to align with the key message and emotions being conveyed in a piece. Research on the effects of color on product preference in marketing shows that product color could affect consumer preference and hence purchasing culture. This is mostly due to associative learning. Most results show that it is not a specific color that attracts all audience, but that certain colors are deemed appropriate for certain products. See, I personally disagree with that. It's like, people are like, people tend to buy red more, and, that's why we have more red sofas. And, I'd be like, well, I bought the red sofa because it goes with the new walls in my new place as well as with all the other art pieces I bought. And it's the one thing that didn't clash compared to the brown, the tan, and everything. It was more of a warm room. Like, I don't know. I disagree with a lot of this marketing. It's like, I'm not going to buy something that's red because it's red. Just like, despite the fact that I like the color orange, I'm not going to buy something that's orange just because I like it. It's got to work. Type of deal. So it's like, I don't know. actually looking around here is a bad idea because I've never actually bought furniture for my place. It's just a hodgepodge of things I've received from other people. I love how hodgepodge is a word. Recognized and everything. Anyway, continuing on, brand meaning. Color is a very influential source of information when people are making a purchasing decision. Customers generally make an initial judgment on a product within 90 seconds of interaction with that product, and about 62 to 90% of that judgment is based on color. So they're saying that 38 to 10% of your judgment on a product is not based on color? That's just... Who just goes out and purchases things willy-nilly? Like, if I'm at the store and I'm hungry and I want to buy a cake, I'm going to buy a cake. I'm not going to buy... I don't know. I'm not going to buy something because it's a different color. I'm going to buy the cake that sounds delicious. If I'm trying to buy furniture, I'm not going to buy a random chair just because it's a color. I'm going to buy a chair because I need a chair. I don't need an extra chair. If I'm buying curtains, I'm buying curtains because I need curtains. Are they blackout? Yeah. So then I'm not going to buy red dainty curtains when I need blackout curtains. I don't understand people sometimes. Anyway, continuing on. Color mapping provides a means of identifying potential logo colors for brands and ensuring brand differentiation within a visually clustered marketplace. A study on logo color asked participants to rate how appropriate the logo color was for fictional companies based on the products each company produced. Participants were presented with fictional products in 8 different colors and had to rate the appropriateness of the color for each product. This study showed a pattern of logo color appropriateness based on product function. If the product was considered functional, fulfills a need, or solves a problem, then a functional color was seen as more appropriate. If the product was seen as sensory social, which conveys attitude, status, or social approval, then sensory social colors were seen as more appropriate. Companies should decide what types of products to produce and then choose a logo color that is connotative within their product's functions. Company logos can portray meaning just through the use of color. Color affects people's perceptions of a new or unknown company. Some companies, such as Victoria's Secret and H&R Block, use colors to change their corporate image and create a new brand personality for specific target audiences. Pink, Victoria's Secret. Green, H&R Block. Research done on the relationship between logo color and 5 personality traits had participants rate a computer-made logo in different colors on scales relating to the dimensions of brand personality. Relationships were found between color and sincerity, excitement, competence, sophistication, and ruggedness. Okay. A follow-up study tested the effects of perceived brand personality and purchasing intentions. Participants were presented with a product and a summary of the preferred brand personality and had to rate the likelihood of purchasing a product based on packaging color. Purchasing intent was greater if the perceived personality matched the marketed product or service. In turn, color affects perceived brand personality, and brand personality affects purchasing intent. Although color can be useful in marketing, its value and extent of use depends on how it is used and the audience it is used on. The use of color will have different effects on different people. Therefore, experimental findings cannot be taken as universally true. So, different colors are perceived to mean different things. For example, tones of red lead to feelings of arousal, while tones of blue are often associated with feelings of relaxation. Both of these emotions are pleasant, so therefore the colors can procure positive feelings in advertisements. The chart below, it can be a chart, but below gives perceived meanings of different colors in the United States. So, quick reference, if I say F after an emotion, it is a functional emotion, which fulfills a need or solves a problem. And if I say S, it is sensory social emotion, and it conveys attitude, status, or social approval. So in the US, this is what the different colors are going to convey. So red conveys lust, S, power, S, excitement, S, speed, S, love, S, and anger. So basically, red is a sensory social emotion that conveys that. You know what? It's going to be easier if I do it this. So yellow, yellow conveys the following sensory social emotions: competence and happiness. It also has functional emotions, which is inexpensive and low quality. Interesting. Green conveys the following sensory social emotions: envy and health, and the following functional emotions: good taste and eco-friendly. Blue conveys the following sensory social: masculine and competence, and the following functional: high quality, corporate, and reliability. Pink conveys the following sensory social. Is that it? Yeah, sensory social, sophistication, sincerity, feminine. So Victoria's Secret is sincere in their sophistication of the feminine form. Violet and purple conveys the following sensory social emotions: authority, sophistication, power. Orange conveys the following: warmth and excitement for sensory social. Brown conveys the ruggedness for sensory social. Black conveys the following sensory social: grief, sophistication, fear, and death. And conveys the following functional, which is expensive. And white conveys the following sensory social: happiness, sincerity, and purity. So those are how the U.S. perceives those colors. But now we go into an interesting thing, which is combining colors. Although some companies use a single color to represent their brand, many other companies use a combination of colors in their logo and can be perceived in different ways than those colors can convey independently. When asked to rate color pair preference of pre-selected pairs, people generally prefer color pairs with similar hues when two colors are both in the foreground. However, greater contrast between the figure and background is preferred. In contrast to a strong preference for similar color combinations, some people like to accent with a highly contrasting color. In a study on color preference for Nike Inc. sneakers, people generally combine colors near each other on the color wheel, such as blue and dark blue. However, a smaller segment prefer to have the Nike swoosh accentuated in a different and contrasting color. Most of the people also use a relatively small number of colors when designing their ideal athletic shoe. This finding has relevance for companies that produce multicolored merchandise, suggesting that to appeal to consumer preferences, companies should consider minimizing the number of colors visible and using similar hues in one product. I mean, I can understand that. Like, you want to appeal to the majority of people. And a majority of people prefer similar colored hued shoes, similar colors on the wheel type of deal and everything, and not to just kind of go crazy with the colors. But at the same time, it's like, what are you, like, athletic shoes is a good example. Red and white are some typical athletic shoes. Shades of blue, shades of gray, all white, shades of black, black and gray. Those are really the only kinds you see. And then when you go to the special athletic shoes, usually created by athletes, then you start getting some crazy colors. Right, for men's. I don't generally look at women's shoes. So I don't, yeah, women's shoes, I've also seen pink and grays. That's all I can think of because my mom happened to buy a pair of gray shoes with like pink accents. But really, what I'm trying to say is they don't really go crazy. Like, I understand the idea of, you want to appeal, you don't want to create something uber tacky. But, like, you can get contrasting colors that look really nice together. And I feel like it could be more widespread than it already is. But it's just that people are afraid to do that. They don't want to be the ones to get out there. So, I don't know. I think because it's also more common to have those like similar shades of color and not to just have something far out, that's why the preference is as it is. It's because it's not common. Like, you don't see those colors out and about, so people don't buy them. Like, I'm sure more people would like to wear the wacky colored shoes just because, they can. I don't think shoes are super important. I don't look at people's shoes. But, some people really like their shoes. I know people who spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get Yeezys. And they buy several Yeezys a year. And they don't even wear them. They buy Yeezys just to own them. I didn't even know what a Yeezy was until the YouTubers. Really. Like, I just wear what, New Balance, Reebok, Nike. That's all I need. I mean, I need to buy better dress shoes. I'm actually going to get yelled at next week at my brother's wedding because I don't have good dress shoes. I have old ratty dress shoes. But who stares at your shoes? Oh well. Anyway, moving on. Color name. Although different colors can be perceived in different ways, the names of those colors matter as well. Many products and companies focus on producing a wide range of product colors to attract the largest population of consumers. For example, cosmetic brands produce a rainbow of colors for eyeshadow and nail polish to appeal to every type of person. Even companies such as Apple and Dell, who make iPods and laptops, do so with a certain amount of color personalization available to attract buyers. Moreover, color name, not the actual color, can attract or repel buyers as well. When asked to rate color swatches in products with either generic color names, such as brown, or fancy color names, such as mocha, participants rated items with fancy names as significantly more likable than items with generic names. In fact, the same paint color swatch with two different names produced different rating levels, and the same effect was found when participants rated the pleasantness of towels given fancy or generic color names, showing an overall pattern of preference for fancy names over generic ones when describing exactly the same color. So are you saying that my name isn't fancy enough and that I had to add the funky fresh to my name in order to just make myself more likable? So if I were just streaming as, yo, what's up? The name's DJ. Welcome to DJ. It's Sunday Brunch. This is my podcast. Nobody will watch, but because we are the funky bunch at Sunday Brunch, we have to be fancier. We have to get that certain je ne sais quoi. But I mean, even still, it's just like when I got my phone, I had the choice of like gun steel black or like rose gold pink, and I'm just like, well, I'm gonna have a case on it, and I don't care. I'm buying this phone no matter what. I don't care what color it is. I think I'm the kind of participant and individual that marketers hate. Marketers usually love people, but wait till you hear about the one type of person they absolutely hate. Here's a hint. It's me. Furthermore, it would appear that in addition to fancy names being preferred for their oral appeal, they may actually contribute to the product they represent itself being liked more, and hence in this manner impact sales. A yellow jelly bean with an atypical color name, such as razzmatazz, is more likely to be selected than one with a more typical name, such as lime yellow. Or lemon yellow, my bad. Which would you rather eat, a razzmatazz jelly bean or a lemon jelly bean? Personally, neither, because I hate jelly beans. This could be due to greater interest in atypical names, as well as curiosity and willingness to figure out why that name was chosen. Pursuing intent patterns regarding custom sweatshirts from an online vendor also revealed a preference for atypical names. Participants were asked to imagine buying sweatshirts and were provided with a variety of color name options, such as some typical, some atypical. Color names that were typical were selected more often than typical color names, again confirming preference for atypical color names and for item descriptions using those names. Moreover, those who used sweatshirts bearing atypical color names were described as more content with their purchase than those who selected similar items bearing typical color names. Again, that's weird. Who just buys random colored sweatshirts? My sweatshirts are either blue or black. The only time I would buy a sweatshirt that's a different color is for either supporting somebody or because of the images on it. Like if I were to get a pizza hoodie, I'd get a red pizza hoodie. I'd get a black pizza hoodie. I'd get a blue pizza hoodie. I would not get a white pizza hoodie because I don't like the color white. You know, I'm not going to buy a razzmatazz sweatshirt because it's razzmatazz. I'm not going to buy a jalapeno sweatshirt because it's called jalapeno. Now, if it had a jalapeno wearing a sombrero and maracas, maybe I'd buy a jalapeno sweatshirt. But that's because it looks funny. Not because it's a jalapeno. You know, I'll buy it because it's funny, not because of a color. I resent this study. Attracting attention. Color is used as a means to attract consumer attention to a product that then influences buying behavior. Consumers use color to identify known brands or search for new alternatives. Variety seekers looking for non-typical colors when selecting new brands. Attractive color packaging receives more consumer attention than unattractive color packaging. But what about package shapes? I don't mind getting a brown package shape if it comes looking like a dildo. Don't attract more attention to the dildo-shaped box, please. A study that looked at visual color cues focused on predicting purchasing behavior for known and unknown brands. Participants were shown the same product in 4 different colors and brands. The results showed that people picked packages based on colors that attracted their voluntary and involuntary attention. That was my hands just kind of going, yeah. I'm saying I want a box shape, not a dildo shape. A study that looked at visual color cues focused on predicted purchasing behavior for known and unknown brands. Participants were shown the same product in 4 different colors and brands. The results showed that people picked packages. Say that 5 times fast. Based on colors that attracted their voluntary and involuntary attention. Associations made with that color, such as green fits menthol, also affected their decision. Based on these findings, implications can be made on the best color choices for packages. New companies or new products could consider using dissimilar colors to attract attention to the brand, but off-brand companies could consider using similar colors to the products to the leading brand to emphasize product similarity. If a company is changing the look of a product but keeping the product the same, they consider keeping the same color scheme. Oh gosh. Since people use color to identify and search for brands, this can be seen in Crayola crayons, where the logo has changed many times since 1934, but the basic package colors, gold and green, have been kept throughout the ages. Attention is captured subconsciously before people can consciously attend to something. Research looking at electroencephalographies, EEGs, while people made decisions on color preference, found brain activation when a favorite color is present before the participants consciously focused on it. While looking at various colors on a screen, people focus on their favorite color, or the color that stands out more, before they purposefully turn their attention to it. This implies that products can't capture someone's attention based on color before the person willingly looks at the product. I will agree on that. I will say that attractive colors will pull my attention to it. Absolutely. However, the likelihood of me buying such a color will depend 100% on if I was already going to buy something and if it fits for what I'm buying it for. If I'm going to buy art to hang behind me, it's going to need to fit to my color scheme, I'm going to want maybe purple and, orange. Or, something that goes with the streams, Pokemon art, anime art, Dragon Quest art, Final Fantasy art, that type of thing. I'm not going to buy something because I'm not going to throw up an abstract piece behind me because it attracted my eye. I'm going to throw up something that has meaning. Also, I don't like hanging art around the place. I think it's weird. I like the idea of putting up fan art because it's, showing appreciation for something somebody made. Type of deal. I don't know. In interactive design and behavioral design, color is used to develop visual hierarchies where colors are placed in saliency hierarchies that match other hierarchies. Examples include matching a color hierarchy to a navigational structure hierarchy, or matching a behavioral science hierarchy to the most salient colors in a visual hierarchy, to increase the odds that important behavior change principles are noticed by a target audience and processed by them. Store and display color. Color is not only used in products to attract attention, but also window displays and stores. When people are exposed to different colored walls and images of window displays and I lost where I was. When people are exposed to different colored walls and images of window displays and store interiors, they tend to be drawn to some colors and not to others. Findings showed that people were physically drawn to warm-colored displays. However, they rated cool-colored displays as more favorable. This implies that warm-colored store displays are more appropriate for spontaneous and unplanned purchases, whereas cool-colored displays and store entrances may be a better fit for purchasing where a lot of planning and customer deliberation occurs. This is especially relevant in shopping malls where patrons could easily walk into a store that attracts their attention without previous planning. There you go, Panda. Whenever you're like putting up a table or something at the store, get those warm colors right at the front so that when somebody walks in, they're like, "Oh my God, I gotta buy that." Other research has confirmed that store color, and not just the product, influences buying behavior. When people are exposed to different store color scenarios and then surveyed on intending buying behavior, store color, among other various factors, seems important for purchasing intentions. Particularly blue, a cool color, was rated as more favorable and produced higher purchasing intentions than orange, a warm color. However, all negative effects to orange were neutralized when orange store color was paired with soft lighting. This shows that store color and lighting actually interact. Lighting color could have a strong effect on perceived experience in stores and other situations. For example, time seems to pass more slowly under red lights, and time seems to pass quicker under blue light. Casinos take full advantage of this phenomenon by using color to get people to spend more time and hence more money in their casino. However, a presumed influence of colored light, red versus blue, on risk behavior could not be demonstrated. And now let's look at some individual differences. So, gender. Children's toys are often categorized as either boys or girls solely based on their color. In a study on color effects on perception, adult participants were shown blurred images of children's toys where the only decipherable feature visible was the toy's color. In general, participants categorized the toys into girl and boy toys based on the visible color of the image. This can be seen in companies interested in marketing masculine toys, such as building sets, to boys. That's wrong. For example, Lego uses pink to specifically advertise some sets to girls rather than boys. Why? It's a Lego. You can build anything with Legos. It's a universal toy. God. The classification of girl and boy toys on the Disney Store website also use color associations for each gender. I know this is pandering towards the idea, but God, there are not girl toys. There are not boy toys. They're all universal frickin' toys. Some boys play with dolls. Some girls play with, I don't remember what they're called. Tinker toys. Sure. Everyone's different. Stop pandering. The classification, no, we already did that. Analysis of the colors used showed that bold-colored toys, such as red and black, were generally classified as boy-only toys, and pastel-colored toys, such as pink and purple, were classified as girl-only toys. Toys that were classified as both boy and girl took on boy-only toy colors. This again emphasizes the distinction in color use for children's toys. Again, I'm not somebody the marketers generally went, I loved gel pens, yo. Give me a pink gel pen any day of the week, yo. Gender differences in color associations can also be seen amongst adults. Differences were noted for male and female participants, where the two genders did not agree on which color pairs they enjoyed the most when presented with a variety of colors. Men and women also did not agree on which colors should be classified as masculine and feminine. This could imply that men and women generally prefer different colors when purchasing items. Men and women also misperceive what colors the opposite gender views as fitting for them. I don't understand what you mean about pink Bic pens for women then. I mean, I know you said pink Bic pens for women emotive, but I know I just threw out, gel pens. Gel pens were generally seen as girl-only pens, at least in my school area. So I was very happy to get gel pens, because they were cool. Continuing along, age. Children's toys for younger age groups are often marketed based on color, but as the age group increases, color becomes less gender stereotyped. In general, many toys become gender neutral and hence adopt gender neutral colors. In the United States, it is common to associate baby girls with pinks and baby boys with blues. This difference in young children is a learned difference rather than an inborn one. Research has looked at young children, ages 7 months to 5 years, preference for small objects in different colors. The results showed that by the age of 2.5 years old, socially constructed gendered colors affects children's color preference, where girls prefer pink and boys avoid pink, but show no preference for other colors. Slightly older children who have developed a sense of favorite color often tend to pick items in that color. So that right there shows exactly why you should not be gender stereotyping colors. Don't say pink is only for women and blue is only for men. You're literally affecting how kids are seeing things. There is no feminine color. There is no masculine color. It's just what people have. It's what people do. Anyway, culture. Many cultural differences exist on perceived color, personality, meaning, and preference. When deciding on brand and product logos, companies should take into account their target consumer, since cultural differences exist. A study looked at color preference in British and Chinese participants. Each participant was presented with a total of 20 color swatches, one at a time, and had to rate the color on 10 different emotions. Results showed that British participants and Chinese participants differed on the like-dislike scale the most. Chinese participants tended to like colors that they self-rated as clean, fresh, and modern, whereas British participants showed no such pattern. When evaluating purchasing intent, color preference affects buying behavior, where liked colors are more likely to be bought than disliked colors. This implied that companies should consider choosing their target consumer first, and then make product colors based on the target's color preferences. Panda says, sort of relating, I like the parents that give their sons dolls and daughters cars and trucks. I think it's less that. I think what it should be more is you just buy, correct, Panda. Toys shouldn't be geared towards a specific gender. You like what you like. I think the idea should be more, you just get your kid a variety of things. If you don't like calling it a doll, don't call it a doll. Call it an action figure. It's the same damn thing. Or don't buy them blue things only and say avoid the pink. If your child picks up a Barbie doll, if your male child picks up a Barbie doll, don't smack their hand and say, no, that's for girls only. Be like, okay, yeah, we can get you that. They can make up their own damn minds. Okay, Woolard 2000 seems to think that color can affect one's mood, but the effect can depend on one's culture and what one's personal reflection may be. For example, someone from Japan may not associate red with anger as people from the US tend to do. Also, a person who likes the color brown may associate brown with happiness. However, Woolard does think that colors can make everyone feel the same or close to the same mood. So, color and sports performance. In particular, the color red has been found to influence sports performance. During the 2004 Summer Olympics, the competitors in boxing, taekwondo, freestyle wrestling, and Greco-Roman wrestling were randomly given red or blue uniforms. A later study found that those wearing red won 55% of all bouts, which was a statistically significantly increase over the expected 50%. The colors affected bouts where the competitors were closely matched in ability, where those wearing red won 60% of the bouts, but not bouts between more unevenly matched competitors. In England, since World War II, teams wearing red uniforms have averaged higher league positions and have had more league winners than teams using other colors. In cities with more than one team, the teams wearing red outperform the teams wearing other colors. A study of the UEFA Euro 2004 found similar results. Another study found that those taking penalty kicks performed worse when the goalkeeper had a red uniform. More anecdotal is the historical dominance of the domestic honors by red-wearing teams such as AFC Ajax, FC Bayern Munich, Liverpool FC, and Manchester United FC. Videos of Taekwondo bouts were manipulated in one study so that the red and blue colors of the protective gear were reversed. Both the original and manipulated videos were shown to referees. The competitors wearing red were given higher scores despite the videos being identical. A study on experienced players of first-person shooters found that those assigned to wear red instead of blue won 55% of matches. So one thing I'd like to point out for that I think is funny is, if red is supposed to be good for winning, for those of you who are familiar with Star Trek, the last thing you want to do in Star Trek, in the Star Trek universe, is wear a red uniform. There are several different explanations for this effect. Red is used in stop signs and traffic lights, which may associate the color with halting. Red is also perceived as a strong and active color, which may influence both the person wearing it and others. An evolutionary psychology explanation is that red may signal health as opposed to an anemic paleness, or indicate anger due to flushing instead of paleness due to fear. It's been argued that detecting flushing may have influenced the development of primate trichromate vision. Primate studies have found that some species evaluate rivals and possible mates depending on red color characteristics. Facial redness is associated with testosterone levels in humans, and male skin tends to be redder than female skin. but I give you guys some time to think about it. But in Star Trek, if you wear a red shirt and you go on an expedition, you are considered dead. Because red shirts die a lot in Star Trek. Color in medicine. At the turn of the 20th century, white was widely used in hospitals. In 1914, a surgeon in a San Francisco hospital, Harry Sherman, adopted green, the complementary color to hemoglobin, to avoid dazzle. This was adopted by a number of other American hospitals in the following decades. At around the same time, architect William Ludlow began to advocate pale pastel blues and greens in hospitals for therapeutic purposes, and advising that white is negative. In 1930, Dr. Charles Ireland of Guy's Hospital in London wrote Color and Cancer, a book advocating the use of concentrated doses of colored lights for treating cancer. The practice of using color in hospitals became widespread in the 1930s, particularly promoted by Faber Buren, who established himself as an industrial color consultant in 1934 and advised that an environment of soft colors, especially green, would be soothing for patients. Color and time perception. Recent results showed that the perceived duration of a red screen was longer than that of a blue screen. The results reflected sex differences. Men and not women overestimated the duration of the red screen. Additionally, the reaction times to a red screen were faster than those to a blue screen. Participants who reacted quickly to a red screen overestimated its duration. In a demo with 150 people chosen at random, it was found that inside a pod bathed in blue color, the average perceived duration of a minute was 11 seconds shorter than in a pod bathed in red color. And our last little blurb is game immersion. Since color is such an important element in how people interpret their environment, color psychology can enhance the feeling of immersion in people that play video games. By using color psychology to cause immersion in players, players can have less errors playing video games and feel more part of the game they were playing in comparison to a game that did not have color psychology immersion. Or, to get more immersed in a video game, you make it more realistic. You don't have aliens popping out. You don't have the ability to do whatever you want. But, yeah. Oh, gosh. Sorry for the yawn. That right there was our podcast on color psychology. I hope you all enjoyed, because, let me save this. There we go. I thought it was an interesting topic. We hit like 8 straight weeks of Final Fantasy. So I decided, you know what? Let's do some psychology again, because psychology tends to be some of the ones that people actually really enjoy. So I'll probably be looking for another psychology topic for next week too. Just a heads up hint for y'all to keep your eye out for. So I think I will leave it right there for you all, and yeah, I will see you all later. So thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. And until the next time, everybody, stay funky, people.